What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to run you through how to build your own kick designer using Vital Synth. If you don't have Vital Synth, well, you should. It's free, it's really powerful. I'll put a link below to their website, go get it. So we're starting off here with a clean instance. You're going to first start looking here at oscillator 1. We want to set this to basic shapes and a clean sine wave. We want to make sure the phase is set to 0, randomization is set to 0, and we're going to pitch this down to -12. Now, envelope settings, we want 0.08 for release, 100% for sustain, 0.08 for decay, 0.001 for attack. All right, so we want this patch to be monophonic. So we're going to drop the voices here down to 1. Next step, we want to modulate the pitch of oscillator 1. So we're going to use an LFO, drag that over to assign it, put it up to 100%. We'll change this to an envelope. And we're going to change it to saw down. Sounding more and more like a kick. All right, so this window here is going to be our shaper. It's going to help us control the pitch dynamics of the oscillator of our kick. So in here you can draw extra nodes, as many as you want, but we're just going to start with the one additional at this point. And by moving this around, you should be able to hear how it affects the pitch transients of our new kick. Now, beyond the node, we've actually got curve controls here as well. So now listening to this at the moment, the initial impact of the kick is a little bit bright for me. And so what I'm going to do is set up a macro so that I can control how far this pitch envelope goes. This helps us sort of have a little bit more control over the sound. So if you grab the macro and drag it onto the amount, now we've got a little bit more control over that impact. Should also mention, if you're looking to make more of an 808, modern 808 sort of style kick with a lot more release, you can actually just let this ride out a bit more. Just going to call this top. So as a starting point, this is kind of the base. This is the fundamental of the patch. So the power is all in this envelope window here. So how you adjust this will really determine the overall feel of your kick, also obviously which note you're choosing to play it in. Okay, now so looking at some effects. An EQ is obviously a pretty important tool in shaping the tone of your new kick. So what I've got set up here is a low shelf. It's sitting at around 80 Hertz, I believe. Yep. And currently sitting at -5. So then a little notch, also pushing about 5 dB at about 100 and about 110, about 120. I've set up a macro here so you can adjust where that little boost is. So I can do it before and after. It's pretty subtle. Unless you're in headphones, you might not be able to hear it, or maybe you will. The idea here is that by low shelving, by taking out some of the lows here, we're allowing the mids to kind of come through a little bit more, trying to get a bit more punch. Again, depending on the genre that you're working with, you might use more or less or none of this. The same idea is for the little notch here. I find that around 100 to 120 is sort of where you get a bit more punch in your kicks. If you want that, the sort of way you can go about it. And then also some distortion. So the settings here, we've got about 10 dB boost on the drive. We're looking at about 10% on the mix. Got the filter here set to pre, but this you can adjust also depending on your taste. Frequency is about 150. The idea here is that when the filter is on, we're just distorting the frequencies above 150 Hertz. I want my kick bottom, the sub part of the kick, to be a little bit cleaner, but you can just turn this filter off and get a different effect if you want a dirtier sub on your kick. So let's have a listen before and after. See, with the filter turned on to pre, you're just getting distortion on the initial impact of the kick, and the sub is a bit cleaner. If I turn this off, you can hear that the distortion continues on further down the release of the kick. Post is sort of somewhere in between. I'm a fan of pre. Also, the distortion type here will change the effect. So currently on soft clip, let's try hard clip. And we can exaggerate this a bit. You want to get real dirty. All right, so that's the basic patch. I'm going to jump into the DAW and give it a test run. All right, here we are in Ableton Live. Obviously, you can use this in any DAW that you want. So we've got our patch here in Vital. Sounding good. All right, so I've just drawn a little pattern in here. Gonna go some classic 808 drum samples here. Just made a little hat pattern. Sweet. Sounds pretty good, right? The full patch is available for free for my Patreons, so go and get it, guys. For those of you who aren't able to sign up, that was what this video was about. So you can build your own for free. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Have a beautiful day.